Concept 3, using a formula to solve for a missing variable. Alright, so far we have been finding the volume when we know all the other dimensions. Right? We know the height, we know the base, we know the side lengths, but that's not always going to be the case. Sometimes we're going to know the volume, we know how much stuff we're going to put in there, and we need to know how big of a container we need, right? Or how high we can make something. So for those problems, you're going to approach them with the same formula. You're just going to be solving it in a different way, right? You're going to be solving for a different variable. So this problem right here says, for instance, I'm setting up a display of fruit as a rectangular pyramid in the grocery store. Okay, we've all seen that. I have 8 cubic feet of fruit, and I want my display to be 2 feet high and 3 feet wide. Right? We don't want it so high that it falls over when somebody pulls an apple out. All right? How long is my pyramid going to be? All right? Is it going to fit on the shelf? Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick in my formula. Right? My volume is equal to, we're talking about a rectangular pyramid, so that's going to be length times width times the big height, and then times 1/3. Okay, I'm going to plug in the values I know. Okay, I know that I have 8 cubic feet of volume, right? 8 cubic feet of fruit. I know that it's going to be 3 feet wide and 2 feet high. And I need to know how long it's going to be, right? Maybe I'll make this a capital L. How long, what's my length going to be? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solve for L. I'm going to say, all right, if I'm going to get L by itself, I need to move all of this stuff over to the other side. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to simplify it though. So what's 3 times 2? Well, that's going to be 6. And then divided by 3, or 6 times 1/3, is going to come back to 2. Right? So basically what I have is I have 8 cubic feet, which is equal to my length times 2, divide by 2, divide by 2, and 8 divided by 2 is 4, so 4 is equal to my length. So my length is going to be 4 feet long. And knowing that, I can say, oh yeah, it'll fit on my shelf just fine, or, oh, that's not going to fit, I better change it. I better make it smaller, I better use less fruit. Okay? Alright, let's go on to another one. This one's slightly more complicated, but not too much. So I'm building a sandcastle, and I want to make a tower shaped like a cone. Okay? Kind of cone shaped. I'm going to use 4 buckets of sand that each hold 20 pi cubic inches, right? So maybe I basically got cylinders, right? My buckets are basically cylinders, and they hold 20 pi cubic inches, okay? I want my base to be 15 pi square inches, okay? So my base here is going to be 15, it goes around the other side, okay? 15 square inches, 15 pi square inches. And I want to know how tall am I going to be able to make my sandcastle. Alright, so first of all, get your formula. Volume is going to be equal to pi r squared times the height. Okay, fill in what you know. Well, the first job is to figure out what my total volume is going to be. I've got 4 buckets with 20 pi cubic inches in them, so 4 times 20 is going to be 80 pi. Alright, so I've got 80 pi cubic inches for my volume. And then my base, this whole thing, I want to be 15 pi square inches. So actually, I'm going to replace this. This is a more detailed formula than I needed. I could have just gone with my big B. Oh, and don't forget my 1/3. We're talking about a cone, not a cylinder. I could have just gone with my big B instead of breaking that formula down. So it's going to be 15 pi, right, square inches. And then the height is what I don't know. And I'm going to have, again, that 1/3 for my volume. All right. So again, simplify first. All right. This times 1/3 is the same as saying the whole thing divided by 3. And just like before, I can divide out one number since all of these are multiplying by themselves, and that can take care of it. So 15 pi divided by 3, right? I don't have to worry about the pi because it's basically just 15 times pi times h. 15 divided by 3 is going to be 5 pi times my height is equal to 80 pi. And then I'm going to just divide again. I'm going to divide this by 5 pi. Divide this by 5 pi. And my pi will nicely go away, right? This cancels all out. The pi cancels, and then I'm left with 80 divided by 5. Okay? 80 divided by 5 should be, my height will be equal to 16, in this case, inches. Right? Not inches squared, not inches cubed, not pi inches, just 16 inches. That's how high I'm going to be able to make my cone-shaped sandcastle. Okay, so when you are doing these problems where you have to solve for something other than the volume, you're going to use the same formula, all right, and you're just going to solve for that other variable. Stick all of the numbers that you have, everything you know, into your formula, and then solve for whatever you're missing.